Televangelist Pat Robertson spoke about how he's going to double down on the culture wall. Hilarious. Funny Freudian slip. I was thinking of Trump's wall, probably. He's going to double down on the culture war to defeat all of these rabid homosexuals, as he calls them, who are dominating him.
There's no doubt there's been a leftward bias in the media. Good grief. Everyone, every editorial board, every reporting department tends so strongly toward a leftist bias in politics. And of course, the schools are just appalling what's happening. I mean, I went to Yale Law School. Dear me, that place has gone so far to the left. It is unreal. And who knows? It used to be, you know, Timothy Dwight, people like that were great men of faith. The Princeton and Yale and Harvard was set up as a training ground for ministers. Long way back in the history, no longer. So what are you going to do? Terry, I'm reading, Kevin Sorborg brought me some scripts. So I just finished reading some scripts. Got one I think will make a pretty good movie. I'm going to talk to Kevin, see what he thinks. We got to make some more movies. I mean, he's done a great job, but we need more.
There are people out there who are entering the arena and making their voice heard. We just had a guest last week, the Unholy Trinity, that had a lot to say about culture and what's happening, and we need to know
we have
these
to
things.
do it, and people are interested. They're, after all, when you get right down to it, Christians still are the overwhelming majority in this country, and you know, we have given the ground to a small minority. You figure lesbians, 1% of the population, homosexuals, 2% of the population. That's all. That's statistically all. But they have dominated the media. They've dominated the cultural shift, and they have infiltrated the major universities. It's just unbelievable what's being done. So. A tiny minority makes a huge difference. So the majority is time it wakes up.
What do you even say about that? I mean, so what he's saying is, I'm gonna do my Pat Robertson impression. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make movies, Christian movies that are gonna win this culture war. Me and Kevin Sorbo. That's the guy who was Hercules. And he's super right-wing, and he loves guys like Pat Robertson. He's like, he sent me some scripts, and we're going to win this culture war. We're going to fight back against the evil liberals, against the evil homosexuals. Pat, your movies are guaranteed to be utter dog shit. Like, what he doesn't understand is that in the culture war, the only prayer for the right is the libertarian right. Because I think, specifically on social issues for young people, that ship has sailed. There was even a poll a while ago. I think it was a majority of young Republicans are cool with gay marriage. So what are you going to do? What are you going to fucking roll that back? I mean, he's talking about just an ancient Christian fundamentalist ideology here that's not appealing, even to young conservatives. They don't like Pat Robertson. They're not interested in Pat Robertson. They're interested in Paul Joseph Watson. Actually, I don't even know if that guy's pro-gay marriage. But either way, that's neither here nor there. Your movies are going to suck balls, Pat. They're going to suck balls. And to the idea that, like, oh my God, the left bias in the media. We're beating the war drums for Syria right now. There's hardly a single anti-war voice in so-called left-wing media. Because there is no left-wing media. Even MSNBC is a Democratic Party wing. They're the propaganda arm of the Democratic Party. That's not the same as having a left bias. They're loyalist hacks to the party. You know, CNN has an establishment bias, not a liberal bias, an establishment bias, not a left-wing bias, an establishment bias. The Nightly News, establishment bias. The only dissenting voices on war were fucking Tucker Carlson and Tommy Lauren. So this idea of like left-wing bias in the media, it's actually, the only way in which it's true is, yeah, on social issues, most people in the media are for gay rights and, you know, not overtly racist, which is good. That's a good thing. So it's just, he's 1,000 years old. How does he think he even has a shot in this culture war anymore? You know, there are some things where the opinions are not going back. Legalizing marijuana, the opinions are not going back. 64% now want to legalize it across the country. We're not just talking about Democrats anymore, Pat. We're talking about independents. We're talking about Republicans in many instances. So you and your shitty Kevin Sorbo movies where you're going to do what? You're going to portray gays as evil? It's hard to portray gays as evil when, you actually can see them on different TV shows, and celebrities have come out, and now everybody knows, like, oh, okay, they're just people. So your propaganda is not going to work anymore. What a bizarre character Pat Robertson has become. I mean, it's like he didn't evolve in his mind past the 1970s. And he's still doing the fucking fear-mongering over gay people. Whereas the modern right is like, Pat, catch up, man. We're demonizing like Muslims now, and we're demonizing immigrants. So let's go. Come on. Brown-skinned folk. That you want to demonize them. You and your Kevin Sorbo movie about the evil gays. I'm being dominated by the homosexuals, and I don't like this at all. Tell me how great my posture is.